The newsroom is a fast-paced and hectic work environment. Journalists must juggle incoming video, stories coming from wire feeds, edit text, graphics, and build playlists for live shows and online streams, all while creating original content. So how does a journalist use Vizrt tools to manage all of this content and prepare for online publishing and a live broadcast?
Viz Pilot is our tool for journalists. It's typically being hosted in the newsroom system as a Moz plugin so that journalists can access all our backend systems, allowing them to work with media content as well as our graphics templates to prepare the content for production. I'm a journalist and I'm preparing a story about a house fire, and I have entered the intro or teleprompter text up in my story, and I'm looking for a graphics template like a full screen to have some information about the house fire. So down here I have Pilot X showing me my graphics tab where I can see my lower thirds and other types of graphics elements, and this is the type of graphic I'm looking for. So I'll open up my template so I can see a preview over here, and I can see the fill-in form for the content in the middle. So let me just quickly enter some content. So I can select an image, and I take this picture, which is a picture from my Viz One image search, and then I can see a preview of my full screen graphic. Let me skip the source like this, and when I'm happy with my full screen element, I can give it a Moz title, house fire full screen, and simply just drag it into my script, and that becomes a Moz object.
The journalist in the newsroom also needs to be able to easily find and edit any media.
Viz One gives all the journalists and producers access to all of the videos and stills and metadata in one place. And it makes it really easy to find the shots, to do the editing, and collaboratively produce news.
I'm also preparing a video package for this story. Let me go to my video search in my Pilot X client, and I search for fire. And I see this reporter video that was shot earlier that I can open up inside the Pilot X user interface, and it will load up my proxy. So I open up my video item, and I can see the proxy preview in Pilot X. So it allows me to scrub back and forth and play the proxy and mark an in point, and I can also mark an out point. And we have now a 34-second duration clip, and I can also add graphics to it. So let's add a lower third for the firefighter. I go to my graphics tab, I go to my lower thirds tab, and I simply take my graphic and drag it into my timeline where I want it to be positioned. And then I have Jane Smith, which is probably a firefighter. And this was in Valley. So I can see the preview of the graphics, and I can also adjust the timing of my graphics element. And let's also add maybe a lower third for the reporter. So let's take this one, the upper lower third. And so this is Sarah Bing TV2. And that means that I have now a package. I can preview my element by going to the beginning and playing my video. And this is now storing the information about the graphics inside the Moz object, so that I simply take this package with its graphics and drag it in as one single item, and it's going to be played out in high resolution in the TV production, triggering the graphics elements automatically. And of course you can use these graphics elements while transcoding for web publication when burning in the graphics instead, using our meta graphics workflow.
Editorial content is not the only thing added in the newsroom. Commands for the studio automation system Viz Mosart are also added as part of the playlist for any production.
So if I'm a producer or director, I would also have access to automation instructions in the Pilot X. Then I would see the playout instructions. So for a given package, I would be able to select different Mosart templates for playing out the video in different ways. So should it run as a voiceover or a normal package, you would choose that here, and the information would then travel along with the Moz object as a single item. We also have access to sources. So if you wanted to add Moz objects representing the different camera shots, you can open them up and prepare them as Moz elements like this and drag them in.
Editors also have access to graphics templates and video from Viz One in their craft editing systems.
The same graphics templates that the journalist is using inside Viz Pilot can also be used while editing video. So we have an Elite plugin that is hosted by the craft editing systems, which allows the journalist to select a template and add content either as burnt-in video as overlay graphics when exporting high-res video, or added as meta graphics items to be played live later. Our graphics plugin actually works in all the major craft editing systems, like Media Composer from Avid, or Final Cut from Apple, or Premiere from Adobe. So here's my timeline with some video, and I want to add a graphics overlay effect here. And basically, I go to my project and find this transparent video object that I put on top of my video as a placeholder for the graphics effect. Then in the effects folder, I have this graphics plugin right here, which I simply drop onto my placeholder, and then I can open my graphics template selector. So this user interface here is the same that you see in iNews and all the other newsroom systems where you can work with our graphics templates. Here are my different categories, and let's just add a simple full screen like an opener. So I double click my template and I can fill out the content. This is the farm. And I see a preview here, and then when I click OK, it basically renders the graphics into my timeline. So now we have our opener, and we can play it, and we see the fully animated graphics playing on top of our video clip, and it will also key itself out with a nice animation there.
But not all broadcasters have a need for a newsroom control system. Vizrt has built a simple tool for creating rundown elements, Showmaker.
On the left side, you see the rundown, where we have the different stories, and each story contains typically the teleprompter text as well as different automation objects like the camera and packages to run, and full screen graphics or audio controls. So to build a new story, we can insert a new one here, either by going with a blank story, or we can open an existing template. So this is the package template. So let's build a story about Dancing with the Stars, which will air tonight. It starts with the automation controls for the camera, and then we need to enter the teleprompter text. So we can go to the media search over here, where we can search for instance, TV2, and open up a video clip. This clip comes from Viz One, and I can preview the proxy of the clip here, and I can also add graphics. So let's add a simple lower third, like this. We can also adjust the timing of the graphics, move it around, and let's say we wanted to have it right here. And then when we drag this in, we drag it in as the package, and we can also see the indication of the presence and the timing of the graphics over here. So in this way, we have created a complete story to be used in our production.
Vizrt's newsroom tools are designed to be fast and efficient, so the journalists can focus on telling stories.